Hey YouTube. So today we are here to talk about Baddies West episode 3 and episode 4. Like I said, y'all, it's gonna be 2 episodes of video because your girl is working a job now, okay? She is actually out here working, and it's just a lot that I'm doing. Like, I'm about to move out in a couple of days. So it's just not enough time in the day for me to do my freaking YouTube videos. So I'm trying, y'all. I'm trying to push my content out. Let's go ahead and get into episode 3. The episode starts off with the rest of Krishan and Lowe's fight. So yeah, they finished their fight or whatever. Krishan lumped her up like a bag of chips. Rolly and Biggie is standing outside of the room where Stunna is, and they are yelling and telling Stunna to come out. So of course, when they got to the house, they put Stunna and Kat in a different room. So Rolly and Biggie was like, bring her out so we can whoop, you know how that goes. So Stunna and Biggie are arguing back and forth, and Rolly wants security to let her through so they can fight. Once Lo went upstairs, Razor kept telling her she needs to get her lick back like 30 times. Get your lick back. Get your lick back. That's all I just kept hearing.
Bitch, I'm trying to go out tonight. Get your lick back.
And I'm just like, oh my God. She's about to get her lick back, Razor. Don't worry about it. Tommy arrives to the house, and the look she made had me cracking up. So Tommy comes into the house, y'all. Mind y'all, she was not there during the fights and stuff like that. She sees all the security around. She probably seen Low face fucked up. She sees Rolly yelling. She's like, what is going on up in here? So Krishan goes in the room to speak to Stunna to see if Stunna wants a one-on-one with Rolly. Stunna says yes. So security lets Rolly in and they start fighting. Stunna held her own, and that first hit was lethal. It was pretty much a tie though. Stunna got her hits in. Rolly definitely got her hits in. It was pretty much a tie to me. So after they fight, Tommy steps in to get her one-on-one. Tommy and Stunna fight. The fight was kind of whack to me. They both didn't really land any hits. Rolly hit Stunna in the head from behind, which is whack. If you really slow down the Tommy versus Stunna fight, the only hits that Tommy really was able to land was the ones at the end. But when they first literally walked up on each other, none of their hits connected. So that's why everybody be like, well, Tommy dragged Stunna and all this. That fight was really not a good fight. Now, I felt like security should have let them go just a little bit longer. And like I said, I don't condone violence, y'all. I'm not saying this to do too much. I don't condone violence. I'm not saying that. What I'm saying is, if y'all gonna let them fight, give it a fair chance. You know what I'm saying? I'm not saying y'all should let them brawl or nothing like that, but I mean, hey, if that's what they want to do, let them. You know what I'm saying? So Razor and Lo are in the room talking about the fight. Lo says she peeped Krishan sitting up, but she really thought they was having a good conversation. Razor was telling her just to stay ready. DJ Sky and Lo are talking about the fight, and DJ Sky is basically telling Lo it wasn't Krishan's fault about the photo shoot. You know, you were basically saying Lo was singling Krishan out. So after the scene with DJ Sky, Lo, and Krishan, all the girls get together and they're all sitting there talking, Stunna included. Stunna and Rolly discussed their issue. Rolly said that Stunna was making threats against everyone. Stunna says that when she said everybody will get laid down, that she told Rolly that she F's with her, but she kept going, and that's how it started. There is definitely two sides to every story. I can see where both of them is coming from because, first of all, who is everybody? But on Stunna's part, I told you I'm not talking about you, so why do you keep going? Obviously, now you want a problem with me. So during the meeting, Lo and Krishan hug it out. During the meeting, Stunna and Biggie talk about their fight as well. Stunna feels as though Biggie was telling her what to do / how to feel, and Biggie feels like she was just voicing her opinion. So Biggie was more so saying I was asked of my opinion on something, and I said that Tommy handled it professionally and she handled it better. She said, I was stating my opinion. She said, and when I stated my opinion, you looked at me and said, bitch, shut up. And once she said, I'm sorry, that kind of made me laugh because Stunna, I could see her saying something like that. We didn't get that on camera. On camera, we see Stunna turn around and say, bitch, you can't tell nobody how to feel. So who knows what could have happened off camera? Who knows? But I get both of their points on that. You know what I'm saying? I could voice my opinion. I don't feel like you handled yourself right at the photo shoot. I don't feel like that. But at the same time, too, though, who are you to tell me how to handle myself? I handled that woman how I seen fit because she did something to me. Biggie starts crying. So after everybody dispersed or whatever from the group meeting that they had in the living room, Biggie was talking to Krishan, and she starts crying, saying she wants to put her hands on Stunna. She basically said that production was telling her to let Stunna speak, and she didn't like that. And she was kind of going on and on about how she's her own boss, and she doesn't, deal with stuff like this on a day-to-day basis, and that she doesn't argue with females. And I get it. And this is why I say people have to be careful with getting on reality TV, because y'all be thinking this shit fun and y'all be thinking this shit cool. Well, until you get into certain situations, it's just like, oh, this is this reality TV bullshit. And it does come with drama. This is not the show that you should come to get on if you're all kumbaya. You need to be ready for what comes with it. You want to sit up here and cry and say that you're your own boss, but you could have stayed your ass in Rhode Island.
Boom. Yeah.
Nobody told you to join this show. So my thing with that is just like, I get where she coming from, but this is what you signed up for when you joined a reality TV show. I don't have no end notes for this episode, guys. I don't know. Maybe it's just because I just really don't have a lot to say about I don't know. So let's go ahead and jump into episode 4. The episode starts off with Natalie and Tommy talking on a private jet. They're just talking about Tommy's glasses and how they took a private jet there, and how Natalie's shady ass don't want nobody to know that they took a private jet. The next scene is all the girls on the Baddies West bus. They start playing a drinking game. So the girls are having fun. Razor and Krishan are dancing on each other. Everyone was having a good time. So Scotty asks Razor what do her tattoos represent. Scotty explains in her confessional how she's very intrigued by others' tattoos. She's asking Razor to see the tattoos on her legs. Razor took off her pants, and Scotty was asking what do they mean. Sky mentioned in her confessional how she could tell that Razor was starting to feel uncomfortable, because by this point, Razor's pants was off, and maybe that's too why she felt uncomfortable. Scotty and Razor start arguing, and Razor is saying how she felt violated. Scotty was explaining to her that she didn't pull her panties down. So while they was arguing, Razor was basically saying like, oh, well, if you want to see me naked, you need to pay for that. And you was pulling on my panties, and you was touching me and grabbing me, and just that's what she was saying during the argument. Scotty was just kind of like, I wasn't grabbing on your panties. I was trying to really understand what all of your tattoos represent. Razor swings on Scotty, and they get into an altercation. In Krishan's confessional, she was saying how she was touching her the most, and how she's confused on why Razor was acting like that. Like I mentioned before, Krishan and Razor was dancing on each other. Like, Krishan was even humping her when Razor and Scotty was fighting. So, like, I'm just trying to figure out, even Krishan was confused.
What the hell?
We all confused as to why you took your anger out on Scotty so much when that wasn't the one that was touching you the most. Even Biggie said in her confessional as well, Scotty was not the one that was touching you the most. Krishan was. And if you felt uncomfortable, that's the person that you should have addressed. That's weird. Weird. Whack. Boo. You know what I'm saying? So, yeah. They finally arrive to the house. Tommy and Natalie are asking the girls what happened on the bus. Tommy and Natalie was already at the house, so they was asking them, like, what happened on the bus? Like, what's going on here? So Razor and Scotty start arguing again, and then they fight again. They let Scotty and Razor get their one-on-one, and child, Scotty did her big one. Scotty gave her a 2-piece with a combo, okay? So they're arguing, they're going back and forth. Razor's like, run up. So Rolly was like, Scotty, do you want your one-on-one? And Scotty was like, let her do a rumble tumble. Like, what's up? So security let them run. Scotty said, boop, 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 boop. Beat on her head like a drum in my Rolly voice. So, Scotty always do her big one. One thing about Scotty that y'all gonna learn is, like she keeps saying, she does not fight. She does not want to fight. But if you bring it to her, then that's what you gonna get. And I love people like that only because they don't go out looking for issues. So that's why I really like Scotty. And she really does remind me of myself. Like, I'm the one that's trying to have a good time. I'm not coming with no bad vibes. I want everybody to be on like a good frequency, a good level. And when people bring weird energy to me or drama or like they want to fight, well, I don't want to, but I will. You know what I'm saying? I don't want to do that to you, but I will. So the other girls get ready, and Razor is walking around the house still screaming and carrying on. Biggie was trying to calm her down, and Lo was trying to calm her down as well, but she wasn't listening. Tommy goes in the room and starts talking to Razor and tries to calm her down as well, and it worked just a little bit. All the girls meet up to get Scotty and Razor on the same page. They talk about it, but it almost goes haywire again. The episode ends. So my end notes for episode 4 is you can tell that Scotty just wants to have fun on the show. And this kind of brings me back to my Biggie point. Like I said, y'all know Scotty is my favorite on the show and I really do like her. But y'all gotta stop joining these reality shows and not expecting the drama to come. You know, Scotty, I can really tell that like off the show, she's just like a really fun girl. She's about her fitness. You know what I'm saying? She has good vibes. She doesn't do the fighting. But it's just like when you get on these shows, you kind of got to be ready to step out of your element. I feel as though Razor was, I don't know what I can say on YouTube because I don't really know their guidelines too well. But I feel as though something has happened to Razor, and y'all know what I mean by that. I feel as though something has happened to her in her lifetime, and she took Scotty's interest in her tattoos the wrong way. Razor felt violated. I did feel like Razor took it too far, but she is entitled to feel how she feels. That could have been a trigger for her. Razor is not wrong for feeling violated. I don't care what nobody says. And I even like Scotty. But Razor is not wrong for feeling how she feels. Should have took her freaking pants off and showed all her tattoos. You know what I'm saying? I don't personally think she should have did that because that you put your own self in a uncomfortable situation. But it's still the simple fact that if you felt uncomfortable, okay, cool. But at the same time, if you felt uncomfortable, you should have just said, hey, Scotty, I feel uncomfortable with that. I'm about to put my pants back on. I don't want nobody else touch me like that. And the way that Scotty is, Scotty would have been like, oh, my bad. Like, you know, I'm sorry if you took offense to that. I was just curious about your tattoos. And the situation could have been deaded right then and there. But when you start adding drinks to certain situations, the situation always gets heightened. Because had they been sober, it honestly wouldn't have went like that. I feel like when you have unhealed trauma and things that you haven't worked through, they come up in little areas of your life and then you find yourself exploding because you have not really dealt with them. That's happened to me. Like just this year, I've realized how much unhealed, and I've talked about this in my mukbang as well. I have unhealed trauma from my friendship. So like certain stuff comes up and I'll be like, oh God, like it reminds me of that. And it's a trigger for me. You really do have to go heal yourself and recognize your triggers. Like even if you don't want to heal yourself yet, that's fine. That's on you. But at least know as a person, what are your triggers? What can set you off? I feel like once she took her pants off and then Scotty was like, oh, what does this tattoo mean? What does this mean? Or what? And then on top of that, Krishan touching on her too. I felt like she felt the attention was on her, number one. And then number two, everybody's touching me, poking at me, doing all this. And that's how she felt. She felt violated. And I get that and I respect it. But Scotty, that was not Scotty's intention. She was genuinely curious about your tattoos and you just took it out on the wrong person. And this situation was just a trigger for you. Razor was being super extra. I cannot deal with belligerent drunks. If I was Scotty, I wouldn't have even entertained her drunk ass. Honestly, the way that I am, I really try to avoid shit at all costs. And that's why I just be like, girl, once Razor would have started fake tripping on the bus like she was, I'd have been like, girl, my bad. I'm sorry that you feel that way. And I would have just moved the fuck on. I would have grabbed me another drink and I would have been enjoying myself on this bus ride to Vegas. Okay. I'm not doing all this back and forth, making a storyline for you bitches. I'm not doing all that. It's just not that deep to me. You feel how you feel. So, and that's why I say at some point you have to recognize when people are trying their hardest to not understand you. You have to recognize when people are trying their hardest to be on some bullshit with you. And that's why you do not entertain it. That's why you say, girl, okay, right, go on your way. You cannot be going around her saying that somebody violated you because now people might look at me like I'm crazy. Y'all got to stop putting accusations and certain stuff on people because then that affects people's reputation. That always brings me back to when Phaedra and Portia did that shit to Candy, talking about Candy wanted to drug Portia and bring her to a dungeon. Y'all got to be careful saying and doing stuff like that because people was really in Candy's comments calling her a rapist and saying that she really wanted to drug Portia. Everybody is smart enough to be like, they wouldn't do that, or that's not true. This episode was all right. I felt like the Razor versus Scotty was a little drawn out. Like we didn't need a whole episode dedicated to that. I felt like after the bus scene, they really honestly should have just cut everything out. You know what? No. I feel like after Scotty and Razor got into their fight in the house for like the second time, the whole scene of everybody trying to calm Razor down for the next 15 minutes of the episode, We could have been left out. We could have been done with that. I'm sorry, y'all could have left that out. She was already belligerently drunk on the bus, already going ham on the bus. I didn't want to see no more of this girl running around screaming her fucking head off about some bullshit. After they fought, y'all should have cut to the scene of Tommy talking to Razor in the room, and then after that, it should have been Razor and Scotty talking downstairs, and that's when the episode should have ended. I don't think we needed to see her screaming in the kitchen and going up outside, going up the steps, going down the steps in the room. I don't think we needed to see. So yes, guys, I might have just flew by in this video. This video is actually probably gonna be really quick because I want to push this out as quick as I can for y'all. Make sure y'all stay tuned. Make sure y'all are following my Instagram. Make sure you like, make sure you comment, make sure you subscribe. Yes, and thank you for watching. I hope to have you back on my channel. Bye, YouTube.
Bye, bitch.